This will either make or break your golf game. You had a look at the title, you've had a look at the thumbnail, and you're already thinking, well, this video is just on making sure I get the correct ball position for every single club in the bag. And this all depends on the way you hit the golf ball. Whether you hit that fade, that draw, and you see that slice or hook as your bad shot, or maybe even both. Because something as simple as just changing the ball position can have such a huge impact on the direction of your golf shots, the starting direction, and therefore the overall performance. So the baseline for the ball position is to have the driver more in the front of the stance and work your way back for the irons. And then when you reach the sort of lower half of your iron set, you're working more very much closely to the middle of the stance. But I can almost guarantee that most of you watching this video have the tendency to hit irons very, very well, but when it comes to hitting the big stick, we tend to see that big ugly slice. So the opposite, the one that goes too far to the left. And this can be all just because of the ball position. When you make your swing of an iron, you have it more in the middle of the stance. And what you want to imagine is that the golf swing works on an arc. It doesn't just go straight back and straight through, like when you're trying to make a swing in cricket and doing this action, right? The golf swing works on an arc. So I'm just going to take a little hula hoop here and I'm just going to place it on the floor for you just to show what I'm talking about. I'm just going to move these balls out of the way as well. And imagine this, right? So there's the ball position in the middle of the stance, okay? So we're going to be seeing the club head technically going more round in this circle, and as it starts to follow through, it's going to work in the opposite direction. So having this circle effect, the arc effect in the golf swing, as opposed to swinging straight up and straight down. So because the swing is on an arc, if we just shuffle the ball position more in the back of the stance, what's going to happen, do we think? Well, we're going to delay the release because we're not effectively giving ourselves enough time to be able to release the golf club, open at impact, see more of what we call an in to out swing path because of this hula hoop here. If I was to shove the hula hoop on either side and do the opposite effect and then stand as if we were going to hit a driver, we're going to see a slightly more closed face because we're swinging now from the lowest point being somewhere around this point, and then we start to ascend, as we call it, hit more up on the ball as you know it with driver into the golf ball. But as we do this, when the ball is on the tee, the club will swing more out to in relation to where the ball position is, but because we've got more of a release taking place after the lowest point, the club face is likely to be more closed during the impact zone. So what we've got to remember with this is when we shuffle the ball position really far on the lead foot here and we're thinking, right, I'm trying to hit those bombs. I want to see that nice high bomb, nice high draw. I'm going to put it right in the front of my stance. The trouble is with this is it's going to have a high influence on encouraging a more out to in swing path. If you have the tendency of swinging out to in anyway, then the likelihood is it's only going to go further to the right, especially with the added curvature. So taking this into account then, if we were to hit a couple of golf shots right now, and I'm more wary of this, and I have this sort of out to in swing path anyway, because I'm able to get that nice little fade of the irons, compress the ball, hit more descending into the golf ball, steeper angle of attack. With drive, and we just force that more in the front of the stance, of course it's going to help shallow the angle of attack, but it's going to encourage a more out to in swing path and probably see that slice. Like that one there. That's some slice, that, isn't it? That's pretty impressive. So if we swing a little bit too underneath the plane on the way through and we have the ball in the front of the stance, we might start to see more better strikes, but we might see them go too far to the left because of this. So what you want to be doing is, rather than just assuming that these ball positions that you're noticing online that should be and which are correct in the game of golf, but you shouldn't presume they are correct and perfect for you. You need to go out there and start adjusting, start trial and erroring most ball positions. So what happens if we put it more in the heel of the left foot? What happens if we bring it back an inch, another inch? Have a look and see the starting direction of the golf ball. And whichever one is starting close to your target, well, you're going to have a better chance and fighting chance off the tee to finish them more on the fairway. I know the ball position for me with the driver, if it's too far in the front of the stance, I'll always have the tendency to over-rotate the club face and see them go miles to the left. So it's really important for me as a drawer of the golf ball to actually bring the ball position slightly further back than in line with the lead heel, the left heel for me being a right-handed player. This just helps me sort of neutralize that swing path a little bit more and delays the club face rotation and release on the way through, therefore seeing straighter golf shots for the starting direction and better overall shots. Just like that one there. Pushed it out to the right ever so slightly, however, it's a much better, more controlled, playable golf shot out on the golf course. This will either make or break your golf game, and it's really important that you understand what works for you. Now you know where the ball positions need to be with every single club, you need to go out and find out what works for you. So go ahead, give these things a try, working with the irons, working with the driver, and comment down below to let me know what works best for you. For the driver, is it on the left heel? Is it in the back of the stance? Is it in the middle of the stance? Comment down below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.